Hello everyone, this is Dr. Willow Ariella, and this video is on the section on health and physical development. This chapter is really important. It's a good adjunct and foundation to prenatal development and birth because it's important for us to understand how we actually are able to grow as human beings. And so this chapter discusses some of the important systems that relate to that, the endocrine and nervous system. And you also get a look at what's called the aging brain and how age influences how we are able to grow and develop, and how aging affects our brain. And sometimes the stereotypes of aging don't prove to be accurate. There are definitely a lot of older people who have great memories and are able to retain a lot of information. You'll learn about something called fluid intelligence and crystallized intelligence in a later chapter, but this also relates to the aging brain and the different kinds of memory capacity older people have. Interesting discussion on what has adolescents take the kind of risk that they do. I appreciated that explorations on page 128. And then we're all familiar with reflexes and the importance of those, and you'll learn about some of the important reflexes that babies are born with and why. Why are we born with certain kinds of reflexes, and the importance of those. And they are really important in our growth and development. I also appreciated the discussion on sleep deprivation. Certainly as college students, we all have times when we feel sleep deprived, so this discussion explores a little bit about children and sleep deprivation, which before I read this report, I really didn't think too much about children and whether or not they were sleep deprived, so I thought that was interesting. In one of the jobs that I've had in my career as a social worker and psychologist, I worked with children in quote-unquote at-risk families in a voluntary program for their families, for people who had ages 0 to 3. And in looking at the physical behavior and some of the motor skills and grasping, reaching, and locomotor development, as well as other aspects of growth and development, one of the things that I did with parents is that we had these really awesome charts that we were able to see where the range of a particular skill or developmental milestone can occur. And so, for example, fine pincher grasping, fine motor skills called pincher grasping with your index finger and thumb, there's a range where that can develop or occur in children. And so it could be very reassuring to parents if their child wasn't doing a particular behavior, wasn't able to do something at the same time as some other children that they saw, such as walking or crawling or turning over, or fine motor skills, gross motor skills, certain cognitive skills. So this chart was really great because it showed that there is indeed a quote-unquote normal range, and these kinds of charts are made available and are possible by some of the studies that psychologists and human developmentalists who are particularly interested in children's development, they've done a lot of research to determine these ranges where skills can develop. So if you're a parent and you're interested in knowing about those ranges, I encourage you to do some research on these milestones of development, they're called, and what the normal or typical range that these skills can occur, so that you know that your child too is developing within normal limits. So it was really a fascinating thing, and it was great to watch parents and get to talk to them as they got some reassurance that their child was indeed normal, and then when that particular ability did occur in their child, it was really great because then they got really excited, and sometimes they were that it could have happened the next day after our visit or our talk, or talking about the milestones of development. So that was really neat. So that's one reason why it's helpful to have an understanding of human growth and development, because we can, as we're working with other people, then we can reassure them that there are ranges for when things can occur, and that they or their child are not outside of that normal range. And then there are some other important milestones that are discussed, such as menopause and male andropause. Male andropause is actually still a debated topic. Not everybody is convinced that there is such a thing as andropause. So it's still kind of in the developing research stages, and there are still people who are debating that concept of andropause, but it's interesting to read about some of the perspectives that researchers have been exploring on that topic. Also, there's been a lot of research on menopause, a lot, and the discussion in the explorations on page 151 is very relevant to this, because what scientists have discovered is that women in other cultures, Asian cultures in particular, tend to have many fewer negative menopausal side effects than do many women in the United States. So we can learn a lot by doing cross-cultural research, as well as research on different groups and ages and longitudinal designs, as we discussed in previous videos. So that's a quick overview of some of the important highlights of health and physical development from birth to aging, and hope you found some helpful tips, and we will go on to the next chapter and video. Thanks for your time. Bye.